Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Many families are frustrated that local public school districts are starting fall semester with hybrid learning.
Instead of keeping the kids home half the time, parents are exploring other options, even if that means a bigger expense. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard explains in our COVID in the Classroom series.
On the computer, he's got the wireless headphones and he would right there, he's good to go.
Many families say the hybrid model isn't going to work for them, so they're looking at another option fall semester.
I've had my kids in homeschool in the past. We've done private school, we've done public school.
Elisa Welsh, mother of 2 kids that go to school in West Fargo, says she's considering private school again.
Park Christian's a great school. It's a high quality education.
Private schools on both sides of the Red River say their enrollment numbers are going up because many, like St. Joseph's School in Moorhead, are sending kids back full time.
There's definitely been increased families inquiring about different opportunities at St. Joe's, and that's true across the Diocese of Crookston.
I know the pandemic is affecting so many people, but you guys are still doing it in person. I guess, how is that working and how are you able to do it?
We have plans in place, grouping or cohorting of students, smaller class sizes.
Walsh says she's sticking to homeschooling this go around, but adds there are many great private school options.
I understand the reasoning behind all types.
Parenting is never easy, and I empathize with parents right now having to make decisions on what's best for their family and their child.
In the FM area, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
Keep in mind, sending your child to a private school comes with a cost, which runs into the thousands of dollars, not including busing and uniforms.
No singing will be allowed indoors this year in West Fargo schools. The district says when discussing singing, the reentry committee looked at guidance from the CDC that classified singing indoors as a high-risk activity because of the droplets that a person expels when singing. Since the district already decided to avoid high-risk activities, it decided to not allow singing indoors at the start of the year. We've since learned that other schools are changing their approach to teaching music as well because of COVID-19. Look for that story tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10.
If you're interested in applying to North Dakota State University, you don't need to submit your ACT or SAT scores, at least through the spring of 2022. The requirement was waived because of limited tests and testing sites due to the COVID-19 pandemic. NDSU will now rely on high school GPAs. NDSU recommends applicants have a cumulative GPA of 2.75 or higher.
19 numbers. Minnesota is reporting another 835 confirmed cases, along with 8 new deaths linked to the illness. All total, 1,753 deaths have been attributed to the disease. In North Dakota, there are 232 new cases, along with 2 new deaths in the state. The death toll in North Dakota now sits at 132. Well, the weekend is here, and there's a chance for some of you in the valley to experience stormy weather. Storm chaser Eric Whitehill is here to tell you where. Eric?
Thank you very much, Mike. It has been kind of a busy afternoon for us where we actually had a tornado reported in portions of South Dakota. Very quiet, though. Taking a look at our radar, pretty quiet for us here in the Northern Valley, but we do have one severe thunderstorm warning to talk about for winds in excess of 70 miles an hour. Taking a look for Big Stone and Traverse County, so just south of the Wheaton area. Taking a look at some of these hail sizes. Right now, hail not too big at about 1 inch. That's still going to put a couple of dents in the car, though. But here's where our concern is. We are seeing just a little bit of spin. If you look right here, those reds are going away from the radar in Aberdeen. Greens are towards. We do have just a little bit of spin here right on the edge of the radar. So Weather Service is concerned about that as well. Going to keep our eye on it. Let's take a track on this. And moving off, Chicago, you're going to be next in line for this, but it's going to stay mainly, Mike, over rural portions of Minnesota. Taking a look at our Fargo hourly planner, not too bad here this evening. Temperatures dropping off into those low 70s. We will have a chance, though, for some isolated showers and thunderstorms. I'll have full details for you coming up in just a little bit.
Sounds good, Eric. Thanks.
There were witnesses that witnessed what happened, and anything that they do in the dark is going to come to light.
Family members of a Fargo man murdered in Moorhead are still searching for answers more than 2 months after his death. Newly obtained court documents point to 4 people being involved in his beating. As Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero tells us, his family says those who witnessed the attack need to come forward.
Richard Stephen was killed on June 4th. Weeks later, the pain of his loss is still very real to his family.
You know, there's times when I look at my phone and I try to call him, and then I'm like, oh, he's not alive, you know? Like, it's starting to really sink in that my brother is gone.
Diana Mungu says her brother Stephen immigrated to the United States from South Sudan, escaping a civil war. Although he left a war-torn country in Africa, he ended up dying at this Moorhead apartment building.
He didn't deserve that. No one deserves that, you know? And it's already tough being a minority in this country. And to think that you can do right and still harm comes your way is very, very disturbing.
Search warrants I obtained ID'd at least 4 people that might have been involved in the killing of Richard Stephen, although only 2 have been arrested so far. Cameron St. Clair and Erin Sumby were both arrested in connection to his death. Investigators say hours before Stephen's killing, the 2 were in a mini crime spree, stealing vehicles and breaking car windows. St. Clair is facing 2 separate murder charges and 1 count of manslaughter, while Sumby is facing several charges, including aiding an offender.
My brother is not involved in any type of gangs, any drug affiliations, nothing like that. And so this, to me, it's completely random that it occurred.
Investigators allege a deadly altercation began when Stephen's girlfriend was being catcalled from a vehicle. As she continued walking inside her building, Stephen's girlfriend was attacked by Sumby, and he was then beaten by 2 men, one of them St. Clair. Though court documents name an additional 2 other suspects, we are not identifying them since they have not been arrested. In Moorhead, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
Moorhead police told us this week the case of Richard Stephen's death remains under investigation. They are asking anyone who may have witnessed the incident to come forward and call local law enforcement.
A Fargo family is continuing its fight against child sexual assault this weekend with the 2nd annual Ride with Natalie fundraiser at Harley-Davidson. Rosa Struby says that they're hoping for 300 bikers to show up and hopes to raise $10,000 for the Red River Children's Advocacy Center, which is a place she says helped put her family back together after her 4-year-old daughter was raped multiple times back in 2018.
And it was a safe place to be angry and to be sad and to feel all of the emotions that come with hearing what happened to your child.
Struby says anyone wanting to ride must show up at Harley-Davidson in West Fargo by 12:30 Sunday afternoon, saying the ride will end at Hooligan's Bar in West Fargo. Take a look at the photo we're about to show you. Have you seen this woman? Authorities say Erin Paterka hasn't been seen or heard from since July 31st. She was dropped off at a home in Arvilla at around 10:30 that night. She's 5'5", weighs about 110 pounds. Authorities say her hair color varies. If you have any information, call the sheriff's office at the phone number on your screen, 701-780-8280.
A man is in jail after police say a fight with his grandmother got out of control. The incident happened around 11:15 last night at 106 South Lone Avenue in Foston. According to witnesses, 26-year-old Kevin Anderson was temporarily staying at the home and hit his grandmother before deputies were called. Alcohol is believed to be involved in the incident. His grandmother has minor injuries and was medically cleared at the scene.
A 26-year-old man was jailed today after deputies say he ran from them. A Trail County trooper saw Christopher Bruce driving and knew he had a suspended license. That trooper says when he tried to pull over and got up behind Bruce, he took off. The chase eventually ended with him running through yards and into the Hillsborough Hospital. Bruce was arrested for failure to halt, among other warrants.
A Fargo man is currently recovering at a local hospital after going through an amputation. Friends and family of Aaron Maves tell us he lost his right leg after a farming accident. The incident reportedly happened yesterday at Red River Commodities along 42nd Street South. They say he was cleaning a drain vent when he got sucked in. Maves is currently in stable condition.
A Minnesota woman is dead after her vehicle crashed with a semi in Aiken County last night. Troopers say the semi was eastbound on Highway 18. The other driver was going north on Highway 65 when she hit the semi. The driver of the semi is expected to be okay. The name of the drivers involved have not been released, but she's from Goodwin.
Keep your vehicles locked. Fargo police say they're seeing an increase in break-ins. In the last 30 days, they report taking 60 calls for break-ins. That's twice as many compared with last year during the same time.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, efforts to honor George Floyd continue to be slowed. We'll tell you what's holding them up.
And a severe thunderstorm warning continues for portions of Big Stone and Traverse County until 6:30 p.m. Let you know if you have any storms in your Friday evening forecast coming up right after the break.